in all reality, if the majority of the people in this country might claim to be Christian, but I would tend to say that the majority of them live an agnostic lifestyle, and they're going to lean more agnostic than they would to be in any form of Christianity. And if they
Yeah,
do
but an
this,
Islamic
then that would
state
be the people. That
is
would be the people that
violence.
would decide. That would be the people that would decide what morals are. Well, you just advocated for violence as a Christian. You
No,
did.
I said the
You
Islamic
did.
shit is
You
not the
said that.
correct way. The Quran's is not the correct way because that involves violence. You feel me?
You said,
The
but you
Bible,
said out of your mouth that if they don't believe in the Ten Commandments, they should be removed or killed. You said this. This was out of your mouth,
well,
which is the
it's
same
tricky.
thing that's the same thing that people are doing across the world in Islamic nations even today. If they're gay, they're
Ugh.
throwing them off of buildings. If they claim to be believers and are found to be not non-believers, they're stoning them, they're
The
killing them, they're
Torah had
doing what they
violence.
do
The
in the
Bible got
streets.
violence.
I understand that, Skinny, but that's still my point. In
Yeah, the Bible got
governance
violence.
today, we don't run societies that way because we understand there are people that don't share the same moral compass that we do, that we can still find compromise with to to be able to coexist.
No, and I completely
We
understand that
understand that,
a human life is valuable.
but
But
that takes a
let's
governing
also be
system.
honest. There's a lot of
That
people
takes a
that
governing system that you might not agree with, and that governing system is a system that allows those people to get by with certain beliefs that they have, as long as they're not committing certain things that I think most people would consider more of
Yeah.
an objective moral than a subjective moral, like murder, uh, uh, committing, stealing from people, things like this. Most people would consider those things to be less subjective and more objective.
I
And
know.
that's several different forms of societies that do this. It's not just Christians. And that might be a part of the Ten Commandments, but that's not everything involved.
I mean, I
If you're
understand where you're
saying that
coming from.
someone that commits adultery should be removed from the gene pool, then I think your ideology is a bit flawed.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm gonna just be completely honest. There's a bunch of fucking idiots in this world, and I might be one of them. But I do believe that some people are not worth like their space on this earth, bro. Like, let's be honest, bro. Come on, bro. But that's a whole nother topic
Yeah, but who are
for
you to
a whole
decide
nother
who those
life.
people are? You're not the person to decide that any more than I am. And even then, when you said the majority of people would want this, let me tell you where the flaw in your logic is. And I'll just put this out there. What if the majority of people said they want rape camps in our country? They want to lock all the women up, rape them
What?
because we have a problem today with our birth rate that we want to increase that. So we're just going to create rape camps. We're going to put all women in rape camps and we're going to do this. If the majority chose to do that, is that wrong?
Yes, because just because the
Why?
majority chooses to do something
Why?
does not mean that it's correct.
No, that's fine. That's fine even then, but what makes that wrong? What makes that immoral?
I approve of
If
rape
Violence.
the
camps.
society is deciding their morals, if the majority of society decides their morals, then what
All
makes
right, how
them
about
wrong?
this? It's violence that is not justified.
So if somebody assaults you, you have no right to assault them.
That's not what we're talking about here. If
Well,
someone
you said
assaults me,
violence
violence such as rape camps and
is
things of
never
this nature, that is
justified.
not justified. Violence meaning
How is
you
it
are
not
committing
justified if the
adultery,
majority
you
says that
are
it's
committing
okay?
murders, you are committing rapes, you are cheating and fucking your neighbor's wife. That is violence that should be justified for them to get out of here. Do you understand what I'm
That,
trying to say?
how do you justify it though? How?
off the 10 Commandments. Forget about the Bible. Just
No,
let's just say people
not
wrote 10
not even
Commandments, 10
not
fucking
even
rules that
if the
everybody should be a
majority
world rule.
if the
Don't
majority
consider
says
it a
that
Bible.
this is if the majority claims this is law and this is justified and it's justified because we have a declining birth rate, then who are you to say they're wrong? I said the majority. Remember, we're talking about your society where the majority rules.
Because if it's
They say
bringing,
it's
if it's
morally
peace,
sound. It's morally sound because it's going to further humanity by creating more babies.
I understand what you're saying, bro. I understand
In
what you're
this day
saying.
and age, it doesn't seem like a good idea all the time.
I never said
But
it's a good
is
idea.
it, will
I'm
it
just
always
saying
be
that
like this
if the
though? Will it
majority,
always be
I'm just
fucking
saying that
left
if the
against the
majority
right?
decides, well, probably it will because there are fundamental differences between the way the left and the right see this country moving.
Yeah, and both
Yeah.
sides are fucking stupid as hell. That's what I'm trying to
Right.
tell
how
you.
how how can you even say that?
Like,
So I can't even say that all leftists are fucking idiots, even though I feel like for the
Most
majority
of
they
them are.
are. But I can't say that all Republicans or all of the people on the right are idiots. I know that some
Say
of
the
them are.
people in power are.
I say that white supremacists and all of that, they're the evil of the nation, right? They're despicable people, and often they do vote for the right. But at the same instance, I would say that the trannies and the faggots and all of that extra shit that goes on in that community is also deplorable. Wanting to give
Gender.
gender affirming care to a child is definitely deplorable and and despicable. But I can't say that all leftists feel that way. All leftists don't feel like this should happen.
yeah, but
But there
listen,
are
you
fundamental
listen.
differences between the two.
I understand what you're saying, but there's a whole party that they're the ones you just told me. How are you going to enforce those laws? How are you going to do this? They're doing that now. Like the left and the right, there's people that are running this fucking world that are doing this
Jews,
now.
retard.
So
It's
how is this
Jews,
the
you fucking
right?
retard. It's Jews. It's
No
Jews, you
shit.
fucking
No
Taco
shit,
Bell
nigga.
nigger.
No shit, nigga. So when I say Hitler was right, now everybody want to say, yo, but
I
nah,
like
but
this guy.
not every Jew's rich. Not every Jew's a fucking scumbag. And you're right. Not every fucking Jew is. I know
I
a lot
like
of
this
broke
guy.
Jews.
No, he's right. I'm sorry, bro.
Like
You're
I
right. Never mind.
understand what he was saying, but do you
So what's the
understand where Hitler
difference
was
between
coming
a
from, though?
Zionist Jew and and what they call the other the it's not Anunnaki. What is
Yeah,
it?
Nothing.
but
They're all
what
kites.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to prove is that you're in a hierarchy now.
what's the
You may
difference?
seem like you have
Oh,
freedom of
we are in
speech.
a
You may
hierarchy. I
seem like you
agree.
can be on the left side or the right side, and this is better than what I just
I agree.
proposed. But the whole time, the Jews are the
It
people
is
that are
better
fucking
though.
pushing this out.
It's
You just,
fundamentally better than what you just proposed. You proposed anarchy. You
bro.
proposed a society where if you don't believe in the Ten Commandments, you should be killed or removed from the gene pool.
And you propose a society where if you don't believe in freedom of speech, if you don't believe, you can do whatever you want. This is what you propose. It's still going to be governed by who?
No, I
By a
didn't propose
hierarchy of
that. I
people.
never,
It's
I
still
never
being
proposed
hired.
that. I never proposed that. What I did
No,
say
well,
is,
you didn't
however,
propose it. You said it was
our current
better.
governing, no, I said our current governing system is
There's always
absolutely
a
better
hierarchy,
than
whether it's right or left
than
wing.
Exactly. There's going to be a
I said.
hierarchy anyway, bro.
Hold on. Yep, you're right. That's the reason why the system you just described would still involve a fascist government. You don't even want to get to that. What I am saying, though, however, our society that we currently live in is absolutely better than that you just described because our society that we live in today can be fixed and can be changed through law, legislation, voting practices. If you don't agree with the
Not
laws that have
really.
been put into
Only if
place, you can
approved.
stand you
Only
can
if
stand up you
approved.
It's a cultural
By who?
community change.
By
not
who?
a-
Hold on,
not
hold on.
like a fiscal.
All that
If
shit, you saying laws
I
changing, you saying
can't finish.
this and that.
I can't finish
Only
on my
if
own
it's
fucking
approved
panel.
by who?
I
By the
can't finish
Jews,
on my own
which
fucking
is
panel.
what
This is crazy.
a higher.
Dude,
It's
Higher.
not even.
talk.
It's not even being proposed or accepted by the Jews. You can't prove that either. What I am going to say, however, is in this country we have laws that can be changed and can be changed by the people. The people elect their representatives. Their representatives go and speak for them. If you don't like the way
No, their
your representatives are
representatives speak
speaking,
for their
if
APAC
you
money.
don't if you don't
But
like the
who do
way
you
if
think
you don't
who do
like
you
well not
think
every
put those
representative
people in
takes APAC
place?
money. But if
Who do you
of
think put
course
those people in
the people
power
that
to
voted
even
for
do
those,
that?
the people that voted for those people,
The Jews.
Bro.
the people that voted for those people,
Craig, I
they
think
voted for those
Bro.
people based on policy.
Craig, you're retarded. It's corrupt. He's right. You're retarded,
Well,
dude.
you
It's
think
APAC.
I'm retarded?
Our
You
senators, our
think I'm
congressmen
retarded?
are controlled by
So how
fucking
many
APAC.
Never gave you
how
a
They
many
are,
pass,
bro.
Bull.
how many
So the
What are you
young.
how many
talking about,
senators
bro?
how many senators took zero APAC money? How many?
A few?
Okay, so you can't say that
What's your
they're all
point?
run by APAC.
Oh wow!
Most of them.
Wait,
You can't even say the majority of them are.
Hold on. So because there's controlled
You can't even
opposition, or
say
you're
you can't
retarded.
even say that the majority of them
You are
are
fat
APAC
retarded.
or
I can
take money
tell that
from
you're
APAC.
fat from your picture, and
Yeah,
you're fat
you
retarded,
can't
bro.
even
You're
tell
fat
me
retarded.
that the majority of them. You can't even tell me that the majority of them are taking money from APAC. You can't. You can't
Yes,
even
I
prove
can.
that.
This guy's retarded. I'm
Prove it.
leaving.
So prove it. So prove it. Yeah, I'm sure. Leave. You can't prove that.
Like,
You can make the
we
assumption,
don't
but you
have the
still can't prove
tools.
it.
Listen, we don't have the tools to prove that.
Dude,
We're not billionaires, you know? But it
why are
could
you
be
outside
proven.
with all that smoke, man?
It could be I'm in my backyard chilling.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Bro, it could be proven, bro. But we're not
It
billionaires.
could.
You
It
know?
could be, but you can't. So we should just accept it for fact, right?
So
Is that
what are we
right?
supposed to do? We're supposed
That's
to
not how
install
truth
malware
It's on
in
the
every
That's not how
internet.
that
everybody
works.
and every president that ever exists in all countries. You're supposed to install malware into people's whatever they're doing, you know, laptops, whatever they running their shit from. Is that what we're supposed to do? We're not billionaires. It could be proven though, and a lot of people have tried their hardest to prove that. You feel me?
They
That
I mean,
money
tried,
it's
but
a,
they
just
haven't
can't
been
be
able to.
proven, dude.
So, and that's the only argument that I have is even by your own admission and the guy's admission by him leaving, he couldn't prove it either. He was just making a statement because he hates the Jews, which I'm fine with. You can hate Jews. I don't even give a fuck about the Jews, to be honest. But I do understand that they do have influence in our government, but so do the Muslims, so do the Christians, so do the Black Lives Matter movement, so does
not as much as
several
they do.
different
Not as
several
much
different
anymore.
several different well the Black Lives Matter is not as much anymore, but even then the SPLC had influence, right? And the SPLC took money from from black people, took that money into their bank, and then turned around and gave it to white supremacists for them to go and perpetuate white hate and white violence and put themselves on camera to push a narrative that white supremacy still exists in America. They did this. And
I
this was a
understand what you're
group
saying.
of black people that did this to the world that well to the United
They're
States
mean to
that we
white
know
people.
as we know it.
There's anti-white
And they
stuff
did
too,
it.
man.
They
Yeah, but
did it.
all groups do that.
No,
White
But it's
not
people
the
all
do
groups.
that.
Jews.
What
Spanish
group?
people
What
do
group?
Come
that.
back,
What
Mo.
group? What group?
All
What
groups
group?
do that, bro.
What group?
All
What
groups
group?
do that.
What white group did that? What white group did that?
Bro, even Republicans do that. Even the
What
Democrats do
white
that.
group?
Of
What
course,
white
people are
group
gonna
did it?
spend
Of
money
course you can say
to
this.
to
What
to
white group?
share their
Listen,
ideology
listen,
to the
listen,
world, aka market their
listen,
ideology.
listen,
Of course, they're gonna do
listen.
that.
Yeah, but this was very direct, and the question the what I named was very direct. So, what white group has put money towards pushing another racial group to hate on them in front of a camera so that they can prove that more hatred exists in the country so that they can get more funding from the government. What other group has done that? Name the white group that did that.
Bro, I would have to do my research, but I'm pretty sure.
The answer is zero white groups have ever done that. Zero.
Dude,
does not
everyone
happen.
does it. It's not just white people. It's white
The
people,
answer
black
is
people,
zero.
Spanish people.
Find one.
Fucking everyone, bro.
Tell me one.
Everyone's doing it.
Tell me one. If everyone's doing it, you should be able to tell me one.
Matter of fact, I'm about to follow you, bro. Hold on. Let me do my research.
No, what the SPLC did. So the SPLC took a bunch of money from black people. They pulled on the heartstrings of the black people that were around them about fighting racism, and then spent that money on the KKK. Paid the KKK to go and interject themselves in their parades, in their protests, and to be there to perpetuate the lie that white supremacy is still a large factor in this country.
I don't know if there's been other organizations that have done that same exact thing, but there has been like, individuals and stuff. Like, I hate bringing it up, but like, like